Hello students, welcome to Science Learning Gateway. Today we'll discuss chapter number 5 for class 10 Science NCERT periodic classification of elements. Part 1 we have discussed in our previous video, and today we'll discuss the part 2 of this chapter. The topics which we have not covered in part 1 we will do today. Okay, so what were the topics which we have studied in part 1? About introduction we have read, Dobner's triad and its limitation we have read, Newland's law of octaves and limitation of Newland's law we have read, and Newland's law of octaves and its limitation we have read, Mendeleev's periodic table, its merit and limitation we have read. Today we will read about the modern periodic table, position of elements in the modern periodic table and trends in the modern periodic table. This topic is very important from your exam point of view. So let's start with this chapter. Okay, so our today's topic is modern periodic table. Modern periodic table is what? Which we are studying now. Okay. The periodic table which we are studying now is our modern periodic table. This is our modern periodic table, okay, in which the elements are arranged in the order of groups and period. How many groups we have? 18 groups we have, okay, from 1 to 18 we have the groups. And how many periods we have? 7 periods. Metals are placed on the left hand side and non-metals are placed on the right hand side of the periodic table. A zigzag line separates the metal from the non-metal. These are known as metalloids. Example of metalloids are gallium, boron, etc., germanium, okay. So now let's start with our modern periodic table. Modern periodic table was given by the scientist Henry Moseley in the year 1930. Okay, this scientist Henry Moseley, because of him, the modern periodic table was designed in the year 1913. What he did? He showed that the atomic number means number of protons. We denote this atomic number with Z and we denote the atomic mass with A. Okay, atomic number is equal to number of proton of an element is more fundamental property than its atomic masses. Till now what we have read about in Mendeleev's periodic table, in Dobner's triad or in Newland's law of octave, the basis was atomic masses. But now what Moseley did, he said that the element's property will be based on its atomic number, which is equal to number of protons. Modern periodic law, this is very important. In your exam you can get this for 1 mark or 2 marks. State modern periodic law. So according to modern periodic law, what it states that properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic number. Whether it is physical or chemical property, both depend on atomic number. Properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic number. Atomic number Z is equal to number of protons present in the nucleus of an atom of an element. You all know that inside the nucleus, what are the subatomic particles present? Protons and neutrons. And electrons revolve around the nucleus. So inside the nucleus, protons and neutrons are present. And atomic number is equal to number of protons. All the limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table disappeared. In modern periodic table, the limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table was solved. All the problems of the Mendeleev's periodic table was solved in modern periodic table. Okay. Now we'll discuss the position of elements in the modern periodic table, how the elements were placed in the modern periodic table. In modern periodic table, 18 vertical columns known as groups and 7 horizontal rows known as periods are there. Vertical columns called groups and horizontal rows called periods. Okay, you can see in this periodic table we have 18 horizontal columns. Okay, 18 groups we have, and how many periods we have? 7 periods we have. Horizontal columns. What are the horizontal columns? If you'll move from top to bottom like this. So these are our groups. And how many groups we have in the periodic table? 18. And if we'll move from left to right, these are our periods. So 7 periods we have and 18 columns we have. You have to remember this one. Okay. Next is elements with same number of valence electron are placed in the same group. Means in a particular group, all the elements will have the same valence electron. Valence electron means electrons present in the outermost shell. So in a particular group, the elements which have the same valence electron, same number of outermost electron are placed in the same group. For example, chlorine, fluorine are placed in the same group, that is group number 17. How many electrons chlorine has in the outermost shell? 7. And fluorine also has 7 electrons in the outermost shell. So they are placed in the same group, that is group number 17. number of shells increases as we go down the group. If we'll move from top to bottom in a group, what happens? Number of shells increases. So obviously the size of the element will also increase if we'll move from top to bottom. Elements with same number of occupied shells are placed in the same period. If we will move in a period from left to right, what will happen? The number of shells remains the same. If, for example, in first period, if number of shell is 1, so they are placed in the first period. Suppose an element is having 2 shells, means both the shells are filled. Then those elements are placed in the second period. For example, if the elements are having 3 shells in which the electrons are filled, so they are placed in the third period. Now we'll see with this with an example. Sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. All the elements are having 3 shells, K, L and M. Okay. Sodium is having 2 electrons in the K shell. In the L shell it is having 8 electrons, and in the M shell it is having 1 electron. So all these elements are having 3 shells which are filled. So these all elements belong to which period? Third period of the periodic table, because they have 3 filled shells. Maximum number of electrons that can be filled in a shell will be given by the formula 2n square, where n is the shell number. Okay, 2n square. This formula we use to accommodate the electrons in a particular shell. For example, in the K shell, now n is equals to 1. So which formula will use? 2n square. In place of n, we'll put 1. 2 into 1 square is equal to 2. First period has 2 elements. Okay, according to that, we can say that first period contains how many elements? 2 elements. In the L shell, n is equal to 2. So we'll use again that same formula, 2 into 2 square. 8. Second period has how many elements? 2 elements. According to that, we can find for M and N also. Position of an element in the periodic table tell us about its chemical reactivity. Okay. As we will read the position of the elements in the periodic table, it will tell us about its chemical reactivity also. How it is reactive or not reactive, less reactive, more reactive, etc. Valence electron determines the kind and number of bonds formed by the elements. Valence electron means the outermost electron. It will also decide the number of bonds formed by the element. Okay, means how many bonds it will form. Those things will decided by the valence electrons. Our next topic is trends in the modern periodic table. Last topic from this chapter, and very important also from your exam point of view. In every exams, questions are asked from this topic. Okay, important. Trends in the modern periodic table. In this, first we'll read about the valency. So what is valency? Valency is the combining capacity of an element. The valency of an element is determined by the number of valence electrons present in the outermost shell of its atom. You all know that all the elements are having the valence electron, means the outermost electron. The valency is determined by those valence electron or the outermost electron. So what is the definition of valency? The combining capacity of an element is known as its valency. For example, sodium. What is the atomic number of sodium? 11. Electronic configuration 2, 8 and 1. 1 electron it has in the outermost shell. The valence electron is equals to 1. If it will donate it 1 electron to anyone, so what will be the valency of sodium? Na plus 1. So this is its valency. Okay, now we'll see the trends of the valency in periods and a group. Periods. When we move from left to right in a period, the valency first increases from 1 to 4 and then decreases to 0. For example, these are the elements of the third period: sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. If we will move from left to right, first the valency will increase from sodium to silicon 1, 2, 3, 4, and again it will decrease to 0, 3, 2, 1, 0. So first it will increase. Okay, then again it will decrease. For the metals it will increase. Still cynical, what we have the metals, and from phosphorus to argon what we have? The non-metals. So it will decrease. In a group, what happens? When we move from top to bottom in a group, the valency remains the same because the number of valence electron remains the same. We have read in a particular group, when we move from top to bottom, what happens? The number of valence electron is same. If valence electron is same, then obviously the valency will also be same. So you have to remember, in a period, it increases from 1 to 4 and again it decreases to 0. But in group, the valency remains the same. Our next topic is atomic size. Next trend, we have to read about the atomic size. Atomic size is what? The distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell, the radius. Okay, it refers to the radius of the atom, distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell. Atomic size refers to radius of an atom. It is the distance between the center of the nucleus and the outermost shell of an isolated atom. Suppose this is our nucleus, okay, and this is our outermost shell. So atomic size is the distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell. Now we'll see the trends in the periods and the groups. On moving from left to right in a period, atomic size decreases as the nuclear charge increases. Okay, if we'll move in a period from left to right, atomic size will decrease. Why the atomic size will decrease? Because the nuclear charge will increase. Means this, the charge inside the nucleus will increase. It will attract the electron towards itself, and as a result, the atomic size will decrease. The atomic size of noble gases in corresponding period is largest due to the presence of fully filled electronic configuration in a particular period. The noble gases is having the largest atomic size. Why? Because in their outermost shell is completely filled. They have fully filled electronic configuration. Now we'll read about the trend of atomic size in group. In a group, when we move from top to bottom, what happens? The atomic size increases. Why the atomic size increases? Because the number of shells are increased. One shells are increased for every element. Because the new shells are being added, and this increases distance between the nucleus and the outermost electron. So you have to remember, in a group, on moving from top to bottom in a group, atomic size increases because new shells are added, okay, for every element. For example, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. For this, you can see the atomic size is 152 for lithium, and for the last element, francium, it is 270. Atomic size is increasing. Why? Because the number of shells are increasing. So if question will be asked why in a group the atomic size increases, you have to write, in a group atomic size increases because new shells are added for each and every element. Our next trend is metallic character. Metallic character. What is this? What do we understand by this term? It is a tendency of element to lose electron. Metals. We all know that metals can lose electron. The metallic character is tendency of an element to lose electron. Metals are present on the left hand side of the periodic table. Now we'll see the trend of metallic character in periods and groups. In period, what happens when we move from left to right in a period? Metallic character decreases because the tendency to lose electron decreases due to increase in nuclear charge. We all know that metals are present on the left hand side and non-metals on the right hand side. So when we'll move from left to right in a period, metallic character will decrease because we are moving towards the non-metals. So metallic character will decrease. Why? What is the reason for this? Because the nuclear charge will increase. When we'll move from left to right in a period, metallic character will decrease because nuclear charge will increase. You have to remember only this one. Metallic character will decrease because nuclear charge will increase. In a group, what happens? When we move from top to bottom in a group, metallic character increases because atomic size and tendency to lose electrons increases. When we move from top to bottom in a group, what happens? Metallic character increases because tendency to lose electrons for these elements will increase. So you have to remember, in a period, metallic character tendency will decrease, and in a group, metallic character tendency will increase. Now next trend is our non-metallic character. It is the tendency of an atom to gain electrons. Non-metals, what they do? They used to gain the electrons, and they are electronegative in nature. Non-metals are present on the right hand side of the periodic table in period. Now we'll see the trends in the period and the group. On moving from left to right in a period, non-metallic character increases because tendency to gain electrons increases due to increase in nuclear charge. When we move in a period from left to right, non-metallic character will increase because tendency to gain electrons increases. Metals are present on the left side and non-metals are on the right side. So non-metallic character will obviously increase because reason is due to increase in nuclear charge. In a group, what happens when we move from top to bottom in a group? Non-metallic character will decrease because atomic size increases and tendency to gain electron increases. Okay, we all know when we move from top to bottom in a group, atomic size increases. So the non-metallic character will decrease and tendency to gain electron increases. It will not lose electron, it will gain electron when we move in a group. So you have to remember, in a period, when we move from left to right, non-metallic character increases. In a group, non-metallic character decreases. You can see through this flow diagram also, flow chart also. Metallic character in a period decreases, in a group it increases, and non-metallic character in a period increases, in a group decreases, just opposite to each other. Next topic is our chemical reactivity. How the metals or the non-metals or the elements will react. In metals, chemical reactivity of metal increases down the group because the tendency to lose electron increases. When we move from top to bottom in a group, the chemical reactivity of the metal will increase because they can lose electrons easily. But for the non-metals, chemical reactivity of non-metals decreases down the group because tendency to gain electron decreases. For metals, chemical reactivity will increase when we move in a group, but for non-metals it will decrease. Next topic is our electronegativity. What do we understand by electronegativity? It is a tendency of element to attract the shared pair of electron towards it in a covalently bonded molecule. It is a tendency of element to attract the shared pair of electrons. It increases with increase in nuclear charge or decrease in atomic size. How? When it will increase? It will increase if the nuclear charge will increase or the atomic size will decrease. Along the period, electronegativity increases. Why along the period electronegativity increases? Because atomic size decreases. But down the group, electronegativity decreases. Why? Because down when we move from top to bottom in a group, our atomic size increases. So electronegativity will decrease. And the last topic is nature of oxides. Metal oxides are basic in nature and non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. Metal oxide, for example, magnesium oxide. When we will combine this magnesium with oxygen, what we will get? Magnesium oxide. This is basic in nature. The properties will be basic in nature. And the non-metals, for example, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, etc. These are acidic in nature. They will show some acidic properties. So we have completed our chapter. Periodic classification of elements. Go through the chapter once. If you have any doubt, please comment in the comment box so that I can clear your doubts, and copy the notes in your notebook so that it can be helpful for you during the exams. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe my channel, Science Learning Gateway.